So guys, in case some of you don't know, there is a new Independence Day, that movie that is coming out. Independence Day Resurgence. Guys, we're going to break that down, go through it, find out what we can glean from it, as we usually starting to do. So guys, stay tuned. Independence Day. Now, just before we start, we do know that Will Smith is not in this movie. I don't know for 100% fact why not, but I do know he's not in the movie, so it's going to be interesting to see how they do that. Guys, stay tuned. Breakdown Independence Day now. Okay, so straight into it. No worries, Fox. Guys, obviously an alien craft coming in for A, breaking up in atmosphere, which I doubt, or B, coming into atmosphere for a landing. Definitely entering Atmos somewhere along the line. Thinking probably going to be more likely for a landing, because a few scenes later you get to see like a strut or something coming down. So I'm guessing that's a landing. But guys, obviously straight into the action. Huge ship, definitely alien, definitely similar to the previous Independence Day. So I'm guessing it's the same race. So shot there of Goldblum and his father in the film. As you guys know, Goldblum was a MIT graduate, who was the one who figured out the signal. His father always wanted him to be better than he was. He always thought his son could do a lot more. Ended up his son saving the world, or helping saving the world with Will Smith. So obviously a scene there with him and his dad. Obviously they're both coming back for their roles. So guys, interesting shot there. Some great big leg or arm or something comes down, squashes a whole bunch of people. You see the military shooting their rifles with obviously modified guns at this thing. The whole idea of this movie is the fact that they've had 20 years to prepare, and so have we. So obviously our technology is going to be backwards engineered from their previous encounter. So obviously they're firing one of these modified guns. So guys, interesting shot here. What looks like a rebuilding of civilization that we don't see familiar. Definitely changing stuff, changing the way they develop the country, or develop the world even. As you can remember, last time, world completely incinerated. So obviously they're having to rebuild from scratch, rebuilding buildings, and they're building obviously certain devices and building new technologies and new building designs and stuff like that. Now there's a shot, guy, Liam Hemsworth, or Baby Thor as I'm affectionately starting to call him. Obviously he's playing a senior role in this as one of the main characters. Judging by that, it looks like he's got some sort of uniform on for NASA or something along those lines. So some maybe pilot or something along those lines. We'll obviously just have to wait to find out.
I can't believe it's been 20 years.
Some sort of base, military base. Looks like it's outside Area 51. There's a field hospital there by the looks. So I'm guessing this is some sort of military base. And then the whole time you're having the voiceover of Liam Hemsworth saying he can't believe it's been over 20 years. Dude, believe me, between you and me, we can't believe it's been 20 years either. This movie is so overdue, in my opinion.
Still gonna take your father to the anniversary?
We wouldn't.
Shot there of Liam Hemsworth's character talking to some girl on cam. Maybe a sister, maybe a partner, talking about taking a father, so I'm guessing it's going to be her partner, to some sort of anniversary. We all know the aliens are obviously going to rock up on the day of the anniversary because everybody has such great timing. But obviously the room there too, just getting to that for a sec, it looks a lot like the labs and that from Area 51. So I'm guessing the military has moved into the Area 51 base, and that's where they're doing a lot of their research and backwards engineering as well. Probably find also the pilots are based there as well. Probably they're busy just trying to build the rest of society, and then obviously at a later date they'll move the military out. Who knows what the plan was.
Here if it wasn't for him.
Now guys, this is a shot of President Whitmore. He was in the first Independence Day, so it's a recurring character. I believe he was the one that jumped in the fighter jet towards the end because they were running low on pilots. So a recurring character there for Bill Pullman. But yeah, obviously they're just saying, look, we're going to the reunion. Because he got us through this, obviously he's going, and obviously we're all going to go pay homage to our reunion, but it's been 20 years. Surprise, surprise, aliens are probably going to rock up.
On this day in 1996, the world escaped the clutches of extinction.
Now guys, this is obviously a shot at the ceremony celebrating the 20-year anniversary. As you can see, I'm guessing they're people. Earth has suffered a boom after the wipeout of the last movie. So there seems to be a whole stack of people. Looks like civilization's getting back underway. I'm guessing that thing in the front with the 2 circles on the back is a big monitor or a big screen, and I'm guessing all those dots are people. So obviously Earth is continuing to grow and prosper after this whole 20-year boom thing. Also, it looks like we're reverse engineering some of the technology, because I've never seen a TV with 2 glowing circles on the back. So I'm guessing that's reverse tech as well.
Your father was the bravest man I've ever seen.
Okay, so this is obviously going to give us a little bit of backstory as to what happened to Will Smith's character. From what I can sort of work out in the trailer, he was a test pilot, and what I've heard, he was a test pilot, he crashed, and it killed him. Now, obviously, Jess Burgum's character is sitting there, obviously saying to the son, or the character in the movie who's his son, hey, look, this is, your father was the greatest man we knew, the bravest man we knew. He fought off the alien invasion. You should be proud. But here's a little bit of interesting thing for you. The original character in the ID4 is the same character that's grown up. So, okay. I'll try and explain that. Dylan is the character in the movie. Now, he was also the name of the character in the first Independence Day. Because the movie is set 20 years after the first day, Dylan's no longer around the age of 4, he's now around the age of 24, and has followed in his dad's footsteps. However, here's the weird thing. The kid that actually played the part of Dylan as the kid in Independence Day was played by Jesse Usher. The new guy, or the new actor, is played by Ross Bangley. I might be mispronouncing that. What I don't understand is, if Jesse Usher is an actor to this day, why didn't they bring him back to say, hey, you played Will Smith's son in the original, would like you to come back, play or be a recurring role in this movie. 20 years have passed. Here's your chance to take the lead and becoming a lead role. I'd really like to know the answer to that, because it would have been really, really nice synergy and a really good way to sort of wrap the story up, to say, well, look, hey, his dad died. Here's the son. He plays the son in the original. Here he is, all grown up, now being a test pilot. Look, obviously there's not much difference between the 2 characters. They look similar and everything like that. Plus, 20 years have passed, etc., etc., etc. But it would have been nice to get the same character or the same actor back. I'm just wondering why they didn't do it. You know me, I like to ask questions.
We all lost someone we love.
But in their sacrifice, we found the technology to build a strong...
Now, I actually went, the first thing you see there is you actually see a monument with names written on it. I went through and actually Googled about 5 of them. They are real people. So it'll be interesting to find out if this shot actually has everybody's real name from the world. And if you actually can get to see your name. So guys, little Easter egg there. Check out the monument. You might be able to spot your name. They are real people. Second thing you see is obviously them talking about how they've gone through and they've used the technology to reverse engineer and to improve their own life.
Safer Earth.
The next shot you see is the heavily modified jets flying in Moon's atmosphere. I'm guessing that is the Moon. So they can obviously go through the Moon, up to the Moon's atmosphere and into space, as well as standard atmosphere. Also, you get to see one of them carrying the American flag. Gotta love the Americans and their patriotism.
Because our survival is...
There he is, guys. Baby Thor leaving in the army or the Air Force into what looks like a hangar bay. So I'm guessing this is a little bit before the clip we just saw where they're flying their jets. It looks like it's a pre-mission launch of sorts. And definitely looks like it's Area 51 as well.
It's only possible when we stand together.
Now obviously there, guys, we get to see Dylan jumping into a jet. So he's obviously a fighter pilot like his dad. Probably flying these modified planes, as well as Lee Hemsworth. So they're probably going to be like co-pilot and pilot or something along those lines, or best buds in the movie, who knows. Also, you get to see obviously the speech from the Independence Day rally, where they're obviously going through and saying, you know, we survived, it's been 20 years, you know, booyah to us, etc, etc, etc. Now guys, this is an interesting shot because what it looks like is an alien craft that's landed. Now earlier you actually get to see a craft come down and it looks like it's breaking the atmosphere. What I'm going to suspect, and this is my suspicion, is that the aliens have sent this craft here, probably a drone of some sorts, or probably have a whole stack of troops inside, to find out what happened to their previous invasion force and whether or not Earth is still a viable force or a viable target for colonization. And that's what I reckon that craft is. That previous scene was the craft coming in, that's it, they're landed, and then obviously they're all going to say, yep, hey, it's good to go. So all the enemies are going to jump out, and all the fighter jets and all that are probably going to be launched. Or that, or another ship is going to turn up as well, and we're going to get our ass royally kicked.
Oh my god. A distress call.
So there, guys, you see him mentioning something about a distress call. What I'm going to say is it probably came from one of the old ships that crashed. Probably some of the electronics just survived. It sent out a distress call. It took them 20 years to get here, but hey, you're better late than never, right? Right? Wrong? Right?
Why are they screaming?
They're not screaming. They're celebrating.
Isn't he dead? That's my question. Alright, so obviously in the background you see the president. In the foreground you see a supposedly dead scientist. I'm sure he died in the last film. You get to see him wrap its tentacles around his neck and it looks like it's broken its neck. But anyway, guess we'll get an explanation on that. But yeah, guys, look, obviously the Mad Doctor's back, which is kind of good because I liked him as a character. I thought he was kind of cool and wacky. So obviously he's back. And obviously they're just going through and talking about these aliens. It looks like there's a feed, or a video feed with all these aliens. I'm guessing they're the ones that are probably in that pod thing that landed. So I'm guessing that they're going through and they're asking why they scared or not. And his reaction is they're not. They're celebrating. Probably fine because the fact that they're celebrating because the rest of their fleet is on their way. Now, we've talked about this shot before because it was at the start of the trailer as well. That, I am pretty sure, is the ship that you saw before that was landed. This is the part where it's gone through and it's breaking atmosphere. The way they've cut it, it seems like they're saying, the aliens are on their way, and it's another ship. However, I'm guessing that is the same ship that has already landed. There is a little bit of trick here we're going on with the timeline. I reckon that the president's having these flashes or these visions where these aliens are coming back, or he's been informed that this signal's been sent. This ship comes through, breaks in the atmosphere, lands over the land, and then obviously at the end of it, all the alien ships are launched, all the alien troops and men are launched, and there's a great big battle on the ground. That's my theory. However, I could be wrong. I don't know. We'll have to find out when we see the movie.
Coming back. It has its own gravity. What goes up must come down.
Now, this is obviously the weapon from the ship, or a ship. Last time they fired a weapon, it basically just blew a great big laser beam down and just incinerated everything. This time I think the weapons are a lot more advanced. Like it said, they've had 20 years to perfect their technology. Basically, I'm pretty sure this weapon is where they basically lift everything up off the ground, flip it upside down, and get it to all slam and smash down into the ground. So they're basically using our own buildings and whatnot against us. It's basically a case of someone coming along, lifting a plate up off the table, turning it upside down in the air, and slamming it back down really hard. That's what I'm guessing the weapon is that they're talking about. But it's my guess.
Shouldn't we be nervous?
Yeah.
So in this scene, you see Jeff Goldblum talking to Liam Hemsworth. And obviously it looks like Liam Hemsworth is going to be taking the role of Will Smith as the sort of the lead pilot or the lead scientist or whatever, or is bouncing the idea of Goldblum like Will Smith was in the first movie. So obviously Goldberg's the brains, where Liam Hemsworth this time round is going to be the fighter pilot. So you probably find he's like the best fighter pilot they've got or something along those lines. So in that scene, you see an oil tanker, an old oil tanker, and you see Jeff Goldblum's character's dad still driving around in an old boat. Looks like the whole world hasn't evolved over to the new technology. Still looks like there's still parts of the world that is running off old Earth technology, which isn't actually too wrong. To be honest, if there was an invasion of this size and this technology, I'm pretty sure that some of the civilization would cling to the old classics, much like, for example, people cling to old cars, and some people move to the new technology, etc., 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 depending on what your preference is.
To this moment.
It's touchdown over the Atlantic.
Which part?
All of it.
There you get to see a shot of the ship coming in for a landing or breaking atmosphere. Now, it's not sure if the actual ship is landing in the water or if it's just flying over the water. The fact of the matter is, from my understanding, if there was an alien craft that did break atmosphere, there would be things like a sonic boom and tidal waves and stuff like that. Because of the size that big, it would actually cause atmospheric disturbances, like you actually did see in the original Independence Day with all the fire and the clouds and everything around the size of the ship. Now, obviously, this, guys, it is being developed by Roland Emmerich. As most of you know, is the creator of Stargate. So he does have a bit of a science background, or not a science background, but a science writing background. And that's why I reckon he's deliberately done it, just to say, look at the size of this thing. It's not only covering the whole of the Atlantic, but just by them turning up, they've turned our world upside down and caused these huge tidal waves and basically mass destruction.
Make them pay.
Not going up there to make friends.
Now, during this scene, guys, you obviously see Liam Hemsworth's character about to leave to go on a mission of some sort. Obviously, that's his partner or his girl there. She's saying, make them pay. Obviously, this is from after an invasion of some sort has happened and they've caused a little bit of damage, or they've just turned up. So obviously something's happened and he's obviously going off to fight the good fight.
We've got to remind them Earth is not for the taking.
Here, guys, you see a shot of reverse engineered weapons and a whole bunch of guys running around with them. Obviously they're going to be the guard or the foot soldiers, and then obviously the pilots go through and fight the fighters and fight the ships with the fighters. So yeah, obviously just showing off the technology that they've reverse engineered there.
All fighters, evade!
There's obviously a dogfight scene between the aliens and Earth. You see a couple of the fighter jets going down. Looks like the dogfight isn't going particularly well, but yeah, we'll just have to see how that goes. That is obviously a reverse engineered helicopter or jet of some sort, obviously evacuating people trying to leave, get away from the distraction that is happening from the ship coming in.
I had years to get us ready.
That is a shot there of Liam Hemsworth piloting a fighter, but it doesn't look like the old ones that we've seen before. That looks like it's a new fleet or a new type of craft. So that'll be interesting. Maybe they were working on new technology when the aliens turned up or something along those lines. We'll just have to wait to see. But obviously dealing some serious blows to the alien ship.
We never had a chance.
So that, guys, you see there, I actually believe are the alien crafts. You see these circular sort of like things. At first I didn't realize what they were, but if you actually have a look close enough, you can actually see under it there's a glow, like a power supply, and it's similar to that of the jets. So I'm guessing that's actually an alien craft, and they've actually modified or upgraded their alien fleet to something similar to like a sphere, or sort of like a claw-like action. I've circled it on the screen, guys, so you can see what I'm talking about. But that's definitely a glow under it.
We didn't last time either. We convinced an entire...
That, guys, looks like it's a bunch of Air Force or military guys on an alien craft. I'm going to say that's definitely an alien craft in the background. Maybe this is when the ships land and they've gone on and that's how they got the feed. Or maybe they've blown a hole through the side of the ship and flew into it. Who knows, but that definitely looks alien to me.
generation. But this is a battle that we could win.
During the course of this scene, guys, obviously they're just going through saying, look, you know, we had our ass handed to us last time, we won, let's do it again, we convinced a generation that we can do it, let's do it. That looks like a claw-like ship I was talking about before that I circled. That looks like one of those. So now that I've seen that as well, I'm pretty sure what I saw before was actually an alien craft. That looks like it's one that's been brought down by Earth. So that's kind of cool.
We sacrifice for each other, no matter what the cost.
That scene looks like it's the president going into that chamber. Now, if you guys remember before in the previous movie, that actually was how they communicated. In the last movie, the alien wrapped its tentacles around the guy's neck, but the gas was in the room, so maybe that's what it needed to be able to communicate or to breathe. So maybe he's going in there so that he can communicate with them or talk to them or something along those lines.
And that's worth fighting for.
Now that, guys, looks like the primary weapon on the cannon from the soaps in the first movie. So it still looks like they've got that, but it's been beefed up a little bit. So that's definitely interesting as well. It would also mean the fact that there's at least two ships, because possibly two ships, because one you saw land and that one looks like it's over a city. So maybe there's two ships or so, one that does like a drone recon or drops off troops like a transporter, and another one is obviously the ship that's like in high orbit or low orbit that just basically is there for fighters and ground control help and support, etc.
It's 4th of July.
That scene, guys, you see there, looks like an alien actually walking into Area 51 with its tentacles and all that. So it looks like A, one's got loose, or B, there is ground support. So that's interesting.
So let's show them some fireworks.
Guys, that looks like it's Earth being attacked by a whole stack of alien fleet, whole stack of alien fighters all swimming around the Area 51 like area. And then you see Earth flying in with one of their fighter jets, probably piloted by Jesse's character Dylan, or by actual Lee Hemsworth's character Jake. So I'm guessing what that scene is. But it obviously looks like Area 51. You can see the X, the cross and that from the hospital, being attacked by Earth, by the aliens. That looks like it's an alien itself, like a huge alien mechanoid or biomechanoid. So I've got no idea what that is. That's obviously something new. Probably one of their infantry or their flight or their ground support.
Hold on!
They'd like to get the landmarks.
In that scene there, guys, you actually get to see them piloting some new plane. No idea what that is. That looks fairly new. And it looks like a prototype of sorts, so I'm guessing we'll find that out. And obviously Goldberg's character making a shot at the aliens taking out landmarks, paying homage to them taking out the White House and all the other famous landmarks in the previous movie. So release date, obviously guys, June 24th in 3D and IMAX, no surprise there. It is only just around the corner. It's like a month away from the making of this film, or a month and a bit, so definitely keen to see this and check this one out as well.
I'm Earth Space Defense Director David Levinson. I got some handy tips on how we can all help save the Earth. So, you know, it's not always just up to me by myself.
And then obviously a little Easter egg from Jeff Goldblum's character talking about this Earth Space Defense. Guys, I'm going to check out that website and I'm going to check out that Twitter feed because I think there might be something there, so stay tuned. Guys, okay, so I just checked out that link like I said I was. I was right, there is one kick-ass Easter egg, and guys, I'm going to make another video on it. So, stay tuned, another video coming up. Fuck going to bed, who needs that? I'm going to make another video and I'll show you exactly what I found. Guys, stay tuned. And apart from that, remember, like, comment, subscribe, and check out this other video. It's cool, it really is.